with you today. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge His Grace Bishop Cyril from the Coptic Orthodox Church Diocese of Melbourne and affiliated regions, and the very many other Reverend Fathers who are here today to show their support for the Coptic Christian community in Australia. I'd also like to acknowledge my parliamentary colleagues, state and federal, in particular my very good friends, the Honourable Chris Bowen, the Minister for Immigration, and the Honourable Ed Husick, the Member for Chifley. I'd also, on this day, like to acknowledge the presence of the Reverend Fred Nile, and we should always remember that the Honourable Elaine Nile was a very strong supporter of the Coptic Christian community here in Australia, and we should spare a thought for her. And I hope to see some of you at her funeral on Wednesday. I would like to convey the best wishes of the Honourable John Robertson MP, Leader of the new South Wales opposition, who wasn't able to be here today. I was very proud to support the resolution, which was carried unanimously in the Legislative Council and which was moved by Reverend the Honourable Fred Nile. Now, I don't think today is the time to make party political points. I don't think we need to do that sort of thing. What we have seen here today are politicians from the two major political parties saying that they support the rights of the Coptic Christians in Egypt and that they support the right to freedom of religion. And we should be proud that the major political parties and of course the Christian Democratic Party that are supporters of this very important principle. I'm also pleased to tell you that the swift response from the federal government to the attacks on religious freedom, and a joint media statement was issued on the 10th of October from the Honourable Kevin Rudd, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, and the Honourable Julia Gillard MP, the Prime Minister. And I'll read that media statement to you now. The Australian government today expressed its deep concern at the violence and resulting loss of life and injuries that took place in Cairo overnight. The government expresses its condolences to the friends and family of those killed. This violence follows an increase in sectarian tensions and violence affecting Coptic Christians in recent months, including attacks on churches. The federal government calls for calm and for clear respect for religious freedoms, human rights and the rule of law. As Egypt's historical transition to democracy continues, now more than ever it is critical time for peace and stability. So the response from the federal government to this most recent atrocity regarding Coptic Christians in Egypt was swift and I think you'll see was strongly worded. Now, as I've previously stated publicly, we in Australia often take for granted our right to freedom of religion. Viewing the footage of the Egyptian army attacking its own people who were just going about what we can do here today, which is peacefully protest against things that we believe are of great concern, those people were attacked, and that was shocking footage. Now, I wholeheartedly support the campaign that you are conducting through rallies such as this, your campaign for religious freedom in Egypt. And I hope that when democracy is fully restored to Egypt, it will reflect the fact that Egypt should be a secular democracy and not as an Islamic state. I can assure you that all members of the State Parliamentary Labor Party support and affirm that we stand in solidarity with Coptic Christians in response to these shameful attacks. May God bless you all and give you strength to continue your fight for religious freedom in Egypt. Thank you.